last time we pulled off the plenum off the top of the supercharger, kind of checked out how the valves looked. Everything looked okay. We knew that the engine was going to have to come out with a lift table, and so we actually went to Harbor Freight, got a lift table. This is the same one that Watch JR Go was mentioning works really well. The one modification is that this handle, when you press this lever, the handle goes towards us, so this way, instead of collapsing over the table itself, like how Harbor Freight initially expected customers to use their table. So I had to cut this tab, and the reason I cut it was to get some more slack on that bike cable for the release. So the first step to actually get the AC compressor off is we're going to have to remove the belt right here. To do that, you got to find the tensioner. There it is. The tensioner's right there. You can see the breaker bar there, right here. So now I can loosen tension off the belt, wiggle the belt off of the AC compressor. There she goes. So belt's off the AC compressor. To undo the AC compressor, it looks like we have two 13mm bolts. You can see. The last bolt, it's going to be hard to point out, right here. Hello, would you like to come off? Yes? Oh, there it goes. Okay. This is the connector for the AC compressor. That little tan thing right there, that's what holds the actual cable from the body side right there. You can see how the exhaust is here, and what specifically I was talking about is these two hose clamps. I'll probably blast that tonight with some penetrant, because the whole thing from where the muffler is, so muffler back is separate, but that's where we're going to disconnect the whole engine transmission combo and then drop the subframe. We're continuing on today's work. Today we're going to try to remove the exhaust from the muffler on back. We're going to do the coolant hoses up front, and we'll probably try to get to the drive shaft going to the back diff. By doing all of that, we've pretty much enabled the whole front subframe to be ready to get pulled from the bottom and then pull everything down. First order of business, protect the tips. This bracket right here, we have two T30s. This bracket right here, we have 13mm. The support bar in the back here, we have a combination. We have a 10mm, so we have two 10mm, four T50s, and four 13mm. And then back here, we have four 13mm. Jaguar things. Look at this. Why? Why? Could be aluminum. Now all those crossbars are taken off, and it's all ready to get pulled. The only thing remaining are the rubber hangers for the exhaust and the clamp that goes in front of the muffler right there. You join me under an F-type trying to undo the exhaust clamps right here. We have two 15mm. We got the breaker bar. Milwaukee. Take your pry bar, aim for the top portion of that, and just hammer that. We should be ready to split everything now. Two rubber hangers away from the exhaust falling on my head. like Modern Warfare. Akimbo. I'm gonna show you guys something. It's very interesting. Okay. What? Do you see this? What? Like, what? I'm annoyed enough to show you guys. Look at this. Look at this. Right? Easy peasy. Slip fit, right? Easy. This is as far as I've gotten it. Come on. And there's nowhere to go. Like, the muffler right now, it's in the valence. It is a slip fit, but this pipe is barbed, has a bead, I guess, and the muffler portion I'm trying to take off is also beaded to that. So it like springs over that pipe. And I feel like the only progress I've made is using the pry bar and just hammering the beaded section off. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. Ah, look at that. Jeez. Does it come apart? Yay. Okay, there she goes. That only took forever. The next step is to disconnect the drive shaft. And we do that by loosening those bolts. The size is an E12 Torx. Now. Ah, beautiful. So I'm currently working on the lower radiator hose right here. But do you see this shenanigans? How am I gonna get a tool in there to undo that clamp? Like, was this necessary to turn it the wrong way? Well, Bob and John woke up on a Monday, decided to turn this clamp the wrong way. Oh, got it. Next thing that we'll do, this guy right here. Get that steering shaft off. Okay, bolts out. Another tip, get an oil pen, just mark stuff with it. Especially stuff like this, like, what if you just pop the, oh wow, okay. Wow. I think that was the easiest steering shaft I've ever undone. We're under the hood of the Jag once more. And I'm doing everything possible to leave the hood on because I don't want to touch it. I don't want these things, the actual nuts, to be touched because then everyone's going to see you touch the hood and they're going to suspect, now, what'd you do to the engine? There's this plastic shroud right here under the hood. This plastic shroud's going to come off. Take this off, the Y. So what I'm doing right now, got a really short Phillips, unscrewing these 3 plastic rivets, pretty much. At least that's what I call them. You gotta unscrew them and then they pop out. But, like these guys. Spider. Right there. Spider, come on, get away from me. Is the hose clamp going to be a 7mm? Yes. The other one is over here. Kind of accessible, so. If you're pulling this off, there's another bolt that sits under this bar right here. Wow. See that bolt? Right there? That's for the intake. Make sure to remove that instead of pulling like an idiot like I was. Luckily I didn't break it. These hose clamps are interesting though. They're like spring loaded. This guy. So today we got the exhaust off. We got a bunch of coolant pipes off from underneath. We got the starter disconnected. And then we did a bunch of work up top, removing the intake tubing, the thermostat, which took an hour apparently, and kind of draining more of the coolant, especially from the supercharger coolant system. Next time we'll probably get the car up, undo the upper control arm ball joint from the struts, or not from the struts, from the spindles, undo the struts from the top hats, and I think it's ready to come down. Honestly, when we start lowering it on the lift table, it's just going to be a matter of checking, going down, checking, going down, checking, and then like eventually it'll come out. But look at this, hood's still on. Is it easier with the hood off? I don't know. I have the hood on. Not that that's a bragging point, I'm just saying, like, I don't know, this thing must suck to a line, side to side and whatnot, and already from factory people complain about the gaps and like how it fits and whatnot. So, I don't want to touch it, it's gonna stay how it is. Good night.